First thing I'm going to do is turn this thing around, because the bracing is the next on the list. I'm going to go ahead and get that done, knocked out of the way, before we start on bumpers and rock rails and stuff. And I got one of them old school 80s truck visors to go on here. I think it came off of a Samurai. It's got a chip miss, well, section missing out of it. But they're good for helping keep the sun out of your eyes. I have them on 2 of my other trucks. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this thing will move under its own power. So, God, I'm glad I'm building a garage. I'm getting too old and I'm just tired of laying in the wet driveway. So let's turn this around. I call that a pretty successful test of it moving under its own power. I'm gonna go ahead and get a jack under that side so we can push down in it. We'll measure it, start cutting some pipe and some gussets and some plates and all that jazz. Alright, so the car's turned around. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the back of this. Already got it jacked up. We ground off on, let's see if you can see that. Probably not. Here, right there. Ground off on the top of the shock tower. Well, that's not the only place I ground down. Both shock towers and grounding point. So I made 2 little plates just out of some random, it's an 1/8 inch or 3/16. I don't know, it's a lot thicker than the stuff that's on there. It's to spread the footprint out. I got both plates on. Took the flapper disc, cleaned them up, cleaned all the rust off of them. I let a lot of this scrap metal just set outside. So, like the weld is good around back well. I'm gonna like push it here and put re-weld that. So we're gonna cut a tube pipe to go from here to that side, and then we're gonna go diagonally towards the middle. We're gonna put 1 more gusset in it. And then just 45. Alright, so I measured the distance between the 2, and I added some for the gap at the top and just a little for good measure. So I'll make the cross brace and get it in there. Got the crossbar tacked in. I got the one kicker tacked in. I'm going to get the other one tacked in and ready. now that it moves under its own power, which is the first time I ever, never actually, this is the first time I witnessed it. I bought it, like I said, as a parts car, which I never cared if it ran. But inside our extra parts car was this other front bumper. It looks like it's been hit and it's bent, but I'm going to go ahead and take the impact and, well, possibly that one looks a little messed up if I can't get to it, and zip off these mounts. I'm going to actually, I just want the part here where it bolts. So that way I can, actually I'm just going to take the sawzall and cut it off. What you see here is the starting point of the front bumper. I took the spare bumper and cut the bolt mount off of it where it had the threaded holes, because they already line up, they're already threaded. And I took this pipe, this is the pipe we're using, I drilled a hole in it, so that way once this threads all the way in, it just goes into the hole. Now we have a good strong point to mount to. Essentially 1 day left for this build. It'll essentially be just this bumper. I don't really care too much about the rear bumper. I don't plan to go reverse too often down the trail. And that one's actually metal. The front one is just fiberglass, so had to kind of replace it anyway. And put the visor on. I know it's ate up right there in the middle, but I'll put something over it. And we also put a flag on there. I put the flag on there given the fact that mostly that's like a sand dune thing. So when you're coming over the dune, you'll see the flag, or you see little kids with big wheels and stuff, so you see the flag over top the cars. The reason I did it on this is everybody else, take a stab in the dark, everyone else is going to be driving big old jacked up trucks and Jeeps, and even with my little Subaru here, the exhaust leak jacked up, I figure I got like 5 inches out of it. I'm still not even close to stock height on a Jeep. So at least this way with the flag I'll be seen. This thing has to get done, this front bumper has to get done before I leave for work today. It is currently 12:30. I have to pack it in about 4:30. I got 4 hours to build. I'm not planning an elaborate bumper for this. I'm going to build a single rail across, and to give it a little extra added flair, if there's a piece left over, just a hoop. So I'm going to measure it out. Put me right about there. 2 feet looks pretty good. Center to center we got here, 3 foot, so it's 5, 7 foot. So I need a 7-foot pipe. Got a pretty big piece over there. We're going to go ahead and cut on that. And whatever we got left, we might have enough to make a hoop. I've marked 6 1/4 inches out from each of my datum lines. I put 2 datum lines on here because those mark the center of the post. Normally you just put 1 datum line in the middle of it, but it's just what I felt like doing today. So the 6 3/4 mark, let's see if I can get any of this on the camera here. There is a marker line right here. Yep, you can see that. And then the 6 3/4 mark is right there. This is the line we're gonna put the center of the die for the pipe bender. I've already leveled out my pipe bender, so we're gonna go ahead and put a bend in this, and we'll check it periodically to see how it fits with the body of the car. Now I don't want a full bend, so the way I do this, that way I can have matching bends. So I measure the amount of the rim that's pressed out. 1/16 of an inch, and I'll have 4 inches. It's 4 inches right there. Now it's still going to be spring back. We're going to put 2 more bends on the outside here. So here, just to finish wrapping around the front. Got my main bar bent. Next thing to do is to with the cutting wheel out and notch these, and then we can weld it on. Set it up right here. We'll go ahead and get the hoop on it, well, hoop bent and on it, and then we'll, once that's good and tacked on, we'll take it off and finish welding underneath of it. Alright, I tried to bend this piece from the front loop. It's a little cattywampus, as you can tell. See, I tried to take it past 90. The bender's only rated to 90. Tried something, didn't pay off. But I found another piece of scrap. This is actual tubing. It's not pipe like I'm using. Pipe's cheap, that's why I was using it. It has a much thicker wall. So It did kind of goober it up, but at least it looks pretty symmetrical for the most part. It's just an off-road buggy. I'm gonna go ahead and notch it out. Put a weld on it. There's the bumper. It'll do for what I needed to do. Beats the fiberglass one that's on it. Would have liked to have gotten a lot more intricate, but it's already, I think, like close to 230. Yeah, it's almost 230. So I only got like 2 hours before I gotta go to work. So, I guess I'm pretty much done with this. I'm gonna run to my local hardware, not hardware store, my local auto parts store, and see if I can't find a battery tray with the bolt down, like a whole assembly. And I'm gonna get some food. I have not eaten yet today. I haven't felt well, but I knew I had to get this done. I really want to go to this event, not because like I'm obsessed with off-roading. I don't really care. I like jacking trucks and cars up. I like to build, but usually once I'm done building it, there ain't much left for me to do. But I decided was gonna do something, and then kind of set a goal. I had to take some time off, 2 days off of work in order to get it straight. But this was the last automotive thing I have to do. Like I said, I get tired of moving around, pushing it, pulling it. This way now it is, I throw a battery in and I can move it around the yard. I had planned to use the wheels for the next project that this is a donor for, but they're a little high on the offset. But we'll see how it works out. I might stick with it. I really want the next car. It's gonna build a 30s, early 30s roadster kind of deal. Well, I want that open wheel feel and all that, so I kind of want them to stick out. I don't really mind the McPherson struts in the rear because you're not going to see them, but I don't want to do it in the front because I want like just a hood and open motor, and so I'm hoping to make an interesting car that'll be very light, full 4-cylinder, all-wheel drive. Might try to take it to some autocross events. I don't know, I've never done that either. So, the only thing I've ever done is drag racing, and I only go to Friday night things. So that's another thing that's on the list of things to do is my wife's race car. Get her straight, so she'll be able to go drag racing. Probably not this year, but it'll be ready for next year, because I'm trying to build a garage this year. So, stay tuned. I'm going to definitely take the GoPros with me while I go off-roading. So, I have to cut the screws off for the visor. Still to do, but other than that, we're good to go.